Hey guys, my name is Matthew, and today we're going to be looking at some TikTok videos and just kind of reacting. I'm an American who lived in the UK for about a year and got to experience all the fun cultural differences. And if you're interested in any of those, we've got tons of videos talking about those cultural differences. Today, I'm just going to be reacting to some TikTok videos of US versus UK. US versus UK. All right, we're just going to type that in and see what we get. Okay.
Wow, the sun is so bright today. The weather looks amazing. Yeah, it's like literally 25 degrees outside. It's so hot. It's only 25 degrees outside? Oh, I think I'll stay in then. Are you having a laugh? Only 25 degrees. Nah, mate, it is absolutely raging outside. I'm proper sweating over here.
The accent is awesome.
At 25 degrees? I mean, I know that like
Her British accent keeps switching back and forth between a few different regions. It's wonderful.
I don't know, 25 degrees is pretty cold. 25 degrees Celsius is cold. Nah, mate, I'm going out for my barbecue. Bye, see you later. Oh, Celsius. Yeah, so hot.
This is a long video to drive home the point that Celsius and Fahrenheit are different and Americans are dumb.
That is hot. Hey, bye now, bye. Hey Siri, what's 25 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit?
Oh, but that part is so real because I don't know Celsius at all. That part is super real. So I always, I always have to go, I can't remember. And now I have like conversions in my head. So 16 degrees Celsius is 61 Fahrenheit. So 1.6 and 6.1, things like that. So there's like all these different conversions that I've got in my head. But early it was like a lot of Googling, like, okay, what is this Celsius to Fahrenheit? And then also, people in the UK, you guys go crazy when we start translating some of our stuff the other way. We'll send back and be like, oh yeah, today it's negative, it's 12 Celsius in the US. And it's like, oh, it is. Wow, that's crazy. Or it's, hey, it's 40 degrees Celsius in the US today in our summer. And sometimes we get numbers like that. And it's like, wow, those are big numbers.
Words that mean different things in the US and the UK. Pissed. In the US, this means angry, and in the UK, it means drunk. Fanny. True. Let's pause for all the Brits to laugh.
Yeah, okay.
In the US, this is a bag that goes around your waist, and in the UK, it is something else.
So fanny is also in the US. Sometimes you might use it just to mean like your bum, like your backside, instead of the front side, whether you're a guy or a girl. So the reason you call it a fanny pack is because it goes across the backside of your bum.
In the US, this is a derogatory term for an individual that is homosexual, and in the UK, it's a cigarette. Chips. In the US, chips are the same as UK crisps, but in the UK, chips are the same as US fries. Does that make sense? I got confused.
Okay, so I like this one, chips, in particular, because I found out later that in New Zealand, New Zealanders call them all chips. Fries are chips are chips, crisps are chips, they're all chips in New Zealand. So it's very confusing. It's even more confusing down there.
Even saying that. Words that mean different things in the US.
There are tons and tons of words that mean different things in the US and the UK. That was actually something, I just found it interesting. So I love asking those questions like, oh, what do you mean when you say that? And what do you mean? The one thing I think with chips that's interesting for the UK though, is if they're made out of sweet potatoes, suddenly they're sweet potato fries. Someone explain that to me. Why are those fries and not sweet potato chips? Also, what is a sweet potato chip? Is that a crisp? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments. If you want to hear more interesting words, I'll link a video up there, one that we've done with some dirtier words.
Can't, can't, and, aunt, leisure, leisure, measure, measure.
Someone said leisure in the US. I almost always hear leisure. People talk about leisure time a lot in the US.
Clever, clever, parliament, parliament, burn, birth, work, work, can't, can't.
Hi, I'm from the US.
And I'm from the UK.
Learn the difference.
We call these crisps.
We call them chips.
But we call these chips.
Yeah, we call them French fries.
Actually, what I experienced is that from McDonald's, you guys do sometimes call those French fries. Although chips from most any other restaurant or most any other place, you do call them chips and not fries. So like if you go to a fish and chips place, that's obviously chips. But then if you go to some people, even in the UK, when you go to McDonald's, you call them fries because that's an American thing.
We like to eat fair-sized portions.
We have an issue with obesity.
We measure in meters.
We measure in feet.
We have
an argument there is you don't just measure in meters. You measure in meters and feet, and there's 2x4s, and we've talked about this before on the channel. In the UK, you guys are a little confused on your measurements.
Prime Minister.
We have a reality TV star.
People call us posh.
People call us entitled.
We tend to be very polite.
If I don't get my steak medium rare, I'm cursing you out.
We typically get along with each other.
We live in a divide between two parties who are more worried about power and control over each other rather than trying to find practical solutions that we can all agree on.
Oh, it's a joke.
With Lily's biscuits.
We call them cookies.
Well done. That's true. I don't have anything to add to that. That is true.
I went to LA. I heard sentences I've never heard before in my life. Sentences like, oh my God, did you see Larry? Larry had 4 glasses of wine with dinner. I think Larry may be an alcoholic. Wow, 4 glasses of wine with dinner.
I do really love people's accents when they try to do the other, because that's also a really bad American accent. So for any of you British people out there who think you have a great American accent, that didn't sound like LA. It didn't really sound American. It was a little weird.
In LA, you're an alcoholic. 4 glasses of wine with dinner in Britain, you're the designated driver. I went to LA.
Things no one tells you about moving to the UK. Part 2, number 1, the monarchy. So I think there's this big assumption from us foreigners that British people are all obsessed with the monarchy, and after 4 years here, I can definitely tell that's not always the case. Number 2.
Not just not always the case. I would say that Americans are maybe more obsessed with the monarchy than British people are.
Queue. So pretty much everything and everywhere has a queue, and it's just great. A queue is just a line, queue, line, queue, line, and yeah, so get in the queue.
I don't understand this one. I heard it all the time from British people that they were like the queen, or like they're like the world rulers of the queue, and they're just awesome at queuing and things like that. And it's like a weird humble brag because they think it's like that. But I experienced that we had the same number of queues in the US, so it's interesting to hear this. It just wasn't my experience.
Number 3, drinking culture. So drinking in the UK, I think, is way more part of daily life than, say, in the US. So definitely something to be prepared for.
I think I agree with that. I think, and so just to go back to the thing I said earlier about alcohol, I think the interesting thing is it's part of the culture of the UK. Whereas in the US, you may drink alone. In the UK, I don't get the feeling people drink alone as often. So it's a lot more of like pub culture and like hanging out with people and getting a beer together or whatever. Whereas in the US, I think people tend to drink a little bit more often by themselves.
Okay, so I did a video where I compared the number of pubs in the US and the UK, and the results were shocking. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. So I thought I'll do the same, but with McDonald's. So let's start with the UK. Yet again, I didn't expect it to be this many, but here we are.
Wow, that is a lot of McDonald's.
Shocking. Now let's go to the US. I don't know if you're actually ready for this, but I'm going to show you. Yes, this is the map of the US.
Whoa.
The US is underneath there. So to sum it all up, the US is full of people who eat fast food 24/7, and the UK is just full of alcoholics. Like, hardcore alcoholics. Aren't they just amazing places? Okay.
I like that. That's funny. Yeah, and it's true probably. I have been shocked by, since moving back to the US from the UK, how often or how many fast food joints there are. They're everywhere. And it's not just McDonald's, because like for every McDonald's there's a Wendy's and a Burger King and a Taco Bell and everything else run around with it. So it is a crazy number of fast food joints.
What is socially acceptable in the US that would be horrifying in the UK? When my Brit friends were visiting, they were horrified when the waiter took their credit card to swipe back at the terminal. This made them really uncomfortable.
Yeah, in the UK, they always bring the terminal out. I think we've started to do that a little bit more in the US, but they bring the credit card swiper out to your table and swipe it right there in front of you. In the US, we do give the card often. When you're eating in a restaurant, you give the card to the waiter and they take it away and then bring back your receipt for you.
Saying someone has a lot of spunk.
Yeah, don't say that. Or the next thing either. Uh-oh. Yeah, those are
your
both
child
not great.
Randy, coming from the perspective of a British guy, your style of customer service.
That is interesting. It's a cultural difference because the customer service, I found it really, when I came back to the US, I said, actually, yeah, I appreciate this customer service. Even from non-tipping positions, which I know the Brits are all against the, you know, how the tipping expectation, but even from positions that have no tips associated with them, things like airport workers or just as an example, or people who are working in customer service, like retail and things like that, you don't tip those people at all. And still their customer service, I think, is better, but Brits find it way over the top and don't really enjoy it.
Not universally, but very commonly, it's way too over the top for us. Nobody here can be fricked with that. When someone says, make yourself at home, actually making yourself at home, a rubber in England, is not the same as a rubber in the US.
That's true.
Anything taking over an hour to get to, being a short trip, making tea in a microwave, chatting casually at the lift, politicians mentioning religion when campaigning, commercials advertising prescription drugs.
That is a weird one to get used to. And not just that they advertise prescription drugs, but the way that they do it, where it's like, here's a naked woman standing next, or mostly naked woman standing next to a car. Like, we use sex to sell everything in the US.
Ask your doctor if OxyContin is right for you. Addressing a stranger as sir, iced tea.
Let me know what you think. If you liked this video, make sure you leave it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and as always, see you guys next time.